Hey everyone, Connor from Reddit Demons here, bringing you an interesting video to say the least. So we had a couple members participate from Reddit Demons in the Harry Potter Scrim, which was a Scrim set up by the Reddit War Clan system, where the 4 houses of Harry Potter were created. So we had a couple members in Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw, and they all scrimmed each other. So let's go ahead and check out some of their cool attacks. The first one we're going to be looking at is Damien of Gryffindor attacking Macaunu of Ravenclaw. So I thought this was a pretty interesting attack, so I thought I'd show you all. Damien is going to start his Archer Queen and the walk from the south side. As you can see, he's going to be going in with what looks like a Shattered Go-Ho. He's dropping a Wizard to create the funnel, so his Archer Queen will walk to the left instead of to the right. His Wizard is going to walk up, take out a couple trash buildings just while that Archer Queen is tanking. And then I thought this was pretty interesting. Right here, he's going to drop down a Golem on the left side with a Test Wall Breaker, and then he's going to Wall Breaker into that side. So with that side broken into, one might think that he's going to send his Kill Squad in, but instead he's going to send another Golem from the northeast and then Wall Breaker into that compartment as well. So he's actually breaking into both sides of the base. Now, it was a pretty worthwhile Queen Walk that he sent in because he effectively got rid of that whole south compartment. So she's going to walk up and take out the enemy Archer Queen, and then he is going to have to pop her ability just because it's a little too much damage for her to handle with the X-Bow and the Archer Queen and everything. And then he's going to drop the poison and then let his Archer Queen kill the clan castle. So while all this is going on, his Kill Squad is still doing work in that northeastern compartment. That's kind of the downside when you make compartments like that where there's not a lot of DPS in it. There's only, I think, an Archer Tower, a Cannon, and a Wizard Tower in it. So not a lot of DPS that can really take care of a Kill Squad. So his Kill Squad was able to just really destroy that whole thing. So with the Archer Queen walk, plus that Kill Squad going in there, I mean, look at how much of the base is left. There is a Tesla farm which could pose a threat to his hogs, so he is going to reinforce the hogs he already sent in. He dropped a heal right over the Tesla farm, which was the right move just to keep him alive. He drops his second heal over the Tesla farm right as the other one runs out. We did spend 2 heals on that Tesla farm, but that's alright because it's gone now. And then he just sends in the rest of his hogs from that northwestern side. So they're going to come in, take out the rest of the defenses, and then for here it's just cleanup. So there's a couple hogs left. His queen is still up. There is the enemy king, but with the healers healing his queen, he's not going to be too much of a threat. He drops the rest of his wizards and the rest of his troops just to really run around and clean up. So a really nice attack by Damien. Really scouting out and determining how to 3-star this base. So nice job, Damien. Alright, so next up we're going to be looking at Kwassa of Slytherin's attack on Michael Honma of Gryffindor. He's going to drop a giant just to tank a couple point defenses, and then his Archer Queen to start wailing on some trash buildings. The second that she takes some damage, he's going to drop his healers for her. Then he's going to drop a couple hogs just to really clear out that compartment with the queen, just kind of help her out a little bit. They're going to take out that Archer Tower and then move towards that air defense. With both those defenses gone, they're actually going to move south. So when they move south, they are going to get the CC lure. Once those hogs go down, they will the CC will eventually move towards that queen, which is what he wanted. The clan castle is going to move towards that queen. He's going to drop a rage just to be cautious because Valks can really tear up your heroes, especially with a dragon. They can do some damage, so just going to make sure that she stays alive. Now he's going to end his queen walk by dropping a couple wizards in the eastern side. They're going to take out those buildings and just kind of make sure that instead of continuing her way around, she's going to push in towards the base with the rest of his kill squad. So now he's going to wall breaker in, send in his 2 golems and his Barb King, and then with his Barb King in, there's not a lot of defenses in that compartment. So there's only, let's see, an X-Bow and a Wizard Tower. He drops a couple hogs just to kind of expedite the whole process, take out those extra defenses, and with those defenses gone, there's only some high HP buildings left. High HP buildings can really prove to be a nuisance to your raid, especially when your kill squad can get caught on them. It's really annoying. But once he gets through all those, he is going to drop his jump just to really open up those 3 compartments. Now he's anticipating a double giant bomb in one of those 3 compartments because, let's be honest, how many times have you seen a double giant bomb be in the outer ring of defenses like that? It is almost close to never. So anticipating that, he's going to break in and kind of disable those double giant bombs and then send in the rest of his hogs. So while he sends in his hogs, he tries to sneak a couple wizards in that northwestern side just to take out those defenses. It is unsuccessful, but it was a valiant effort. Can't say I wouldn't have tried it either. You might as well see if your wizards can kind of help your hogs take out those defenses while they're being tanked for. But he takes out all the defenses, and then with 95%, we're going to speed it up just because it's only really clean up. So a nice job to Kwassa in being able to take out and 3-star this base. Alright, next up we have an unheard of raid, No Zombie of Slytherin against Pinocchio of Gryffindor. It's unheard of because No Zombie is using something that is not hogs. He's actually going to go in with a Zapquake dragon attack, which is pretty neat. So he's setting up a really wide funnel with his wizards, and then just to make sure that his queen goes in where he wants her to go, he's going to wall break her in, and as you can see with that funnel set, she is going to go into that compartment. He zaps the farthest air defense, which was his plan. His plan for this raid was really just to break in, and then if he breaks into that compartment, he had access to 3 air defenses with his queen, zap the last one, and then send in his dragons and watch them tear apart the rest of the base. So he is going to drop the poison for the clan castle. Witches can be very detrimental to your raids in the clan castle if you don't catch them with your poison spell. Luckily he did, so very nice poison by him, just to make sure that he got it. And then he's just going to continue on with his raid. So he had the funnel set up north by dropping 2 minions on either side just to make sure his dragons did not stray and went directly into the base. So then he's going to drop his dragons in a rage just to really deal with that enemy queen. So she's going to be gone in like 1 or 2 shots of the dragon. And then he's going to drop a couple loons just to deal with that Tesla farm up there and keep his dragons as healthy as possible. Meanwhile, his queen is still up. She is working on that 3rd air defense now after cleaning up the other 2. He is going to drop his king just to tank for a couple defenses and then send in the rest of his balloons to take out that archer tower and that wizard tower. His archer queen is now tanking for an archer tower and an expo. She is going to eventually take out both of those. With all these defenses gone, there's not really a lot left that are a threat to his dragons. So he has a lot of dragons left. He still has both his heroes. His queen is still being healed by those healers. So there's only 2 archer towers left and a wizard tower. Those are the only things that can really damage his dragons, and neither of those are a high enough level, nor do they do enough damage to solely take out those dragons. So he's just going to have to wait a little bit, let his heroes walk down and help clean up, and then at this point the raid is over. So a really nice dragon attack for No Zombie. Pretty unusual to see Nos using anything that's not hogs, but a very nice dragon attack by No Zombie. Realizing that he can take out 3 air defenses only using his archer queen, a couple healers, and wall breaking into a single compartment. So the rest is cleanup. A very nice job to No Zombie taking out the number 21 of Gryffindor, Pinocchio. Alright, next up we're going to be looking at Waylon's attack on Sub-Ohm of Gryffindor. It's going to be a similar dragon attack to what we saw out of No Zombie, but there are going to be some differentiating factors. So he's going to start off the same way. He's going to be setting a wide funnel with a group of wizards just to make sure that his queen goes in where he wants her to. He's going to wall break her into that compartment so she will walk up, which is where he wanted her to go. And then he's just going to let her start to take care of the high HP storages and then a couple air defenses. He's going to poison the clan castle troops as they come out just to deal with them. But he had a couple goals in mind for what he wanted his queen to do. He wanted her to take out the first 2 air defenses that she encounters when she just took out the first one. He wanted her to take care of the clan castle troops, and then also take care of the 2nd air defense she encounters. He's going to Zapquake that 3rd air defense, so there's only 1 remaining air defense that he has to deal with. His queen is still up. He got a little caught off guard by that Tesla popping up, so he's going to rage up his queen. His queen will break through that last air defense and is going to get stuck on the town hall for a little bit, but that is not an issue. All that's left for this raid to deal with before his dragons can really take control is that last air defense and the enemy archer queen. So he's going to funnel his dragons in, similarly to how he funneled his wizards, just to get him to go into the core of the base rather than all of them to go around. And then he's going to drop that lava hound, so the lava hound is now tanking for his dragons and they can get on top of that air defense and absolutely destroy it. Meanwhile, the enemy archer queen is locked onto his queen, and in 2 shots, that queen will go down, leaving no threats to his dragons. Now, with all the air defenses down, his king, his queen still up, and the enemy queen down, there's not a lot that stands in his way of a 3-star. So at this point, Waylon is just going to let his dragons tear apart the rest of the base. The 2 archer towers in that compartment are being tanked by both of his heroes. His king is still healthy enough to tank for that 1 archer tower before it gets destroyed. His archer queen is still continuously getting healed by those healers, so she is not in any danger. That lone dragon will tear apart that whole compartment. And as for the rest of the base on the eastern front, those 2 dragons will be able to take everything out over there. He is going to use his king's ability just to make sure that he can get through all those high HP buildings and finish out the raid in the time allotted. But aside from that, he's just going to drop the rest of his archers to clean up the trash buildings, and he'll let his dragons clean up the rest. So a nice 3-star to Waylon. Alright, next we're going to be looking at almightycigs' attack on the 29 of Gryffindor, President Snow. So he's going to start off this attack just by dropping a single hog into that compartment, start the clan castle lure, and then drop another just to make sure he got it all. He realizes there's nothing too high HP in the clan castle, so he's going to drop a single poison on it just to kill it and wipe it of its contents. An interesting thing to note in this raid is that Sieg is down by 13 hero levels, which is pretty significant. He's also not using level 4 golems, he's only using level 3, so that's also something that'll hinder his ability to perform. He's going to drop his golems and start a funnel of wizards. He's going to drop both his heroes so they go in, but as you notice, his king does not actually go in, he starts a walk. Lucky enough, his wizards and his queen will be able to take out the enemy archer queen, so his king walk will not affect him too much in this raid. He does have his golem still up for a small amount of time. They're about to go down. His queen is still in there. She's trying to do as much work as she can. And he's going to begin sending in his hogs from that western side. So just going to drop in a large chunk of them right there. He does lose some hogs to that single giant bomb, so maybe a heal over that could have saved him a couple of hogs, which could have helped his raid. But he still has a lot left under that cloak of that heal. He still has 8 left, but he's going to drop them on the southern portion of the base. Another single giant bomb is going to explode over his hogs, but they won't die to that. And then he's going to drop his remaining heals right over all those point defenses just to keep his hogs healthy and alive. There's another double giant bomb that goes off, but that is not too big of a deal because he only lost maybe 2 or 3 hogs. So there's only a couple defenses in that right side, and then a lone cannon left in the northern part of the base. So once he's able to take that out, sadly he does not have any of his heroes up for cleanup, but he has a couple wizards and a couple goblins that he'll be able to drop just to help clean up some trash buildings. His hogs will run circles around the base just to make sure they get everything, go back in for that town hall. So we'll fast forward through this cleanup, but a nice job to Sieg for really taking care of this base, especially under extenuating circumstances, being 13 hero levels down and not having level 4 golems. Alright, next up we're going to be looking at Venators' attack on the number 9 of Ravenclaw, Wicked. He's going to start off just by walking his queen down the whole southwestern side of the base. He's going to start a giant in the north and then a couple wall breakers. Use that giant to tank for the point defenses to keep his wall breakers alive. And to also kind of draw the queen out a little bit. So when he does that, the wall's open. He's going to drop his king. When his king gets aggroed by that archer queen, he will go ahead, pop the ability, and take her out. He's going to continue his archer queen walk down the south side of the base. And then he's going to end the queen's path by using a couple wizards just to destroy some trash buildings and make sure the queen does not travel further than where he wanted her to go. As of now, his healers are taking a bunch of damage from the air defense, and his queen is caught up on the CC Hound. So that is going to prove to be troublesome for him at this point, but he's going to drop a couple wizards just to help his queen deal with the CC Hound. Then he's going to start his golems in from where he ended that queen walk. So with this plan, his goal was for his queen to follow his golems into that compartment, and then he will take care of the rest of the base from there. But the Lava Hound pops, the queen is able to take care of that with the help of a poison, and then she is going to do exactly what he wanted and follow behind those golems. She is stuck on an elixir storage right now, so he's waiting for her to get through that. And then once she's done with all these buildings, he's going to drop the jump right there so those golems funnel in exactly where he wanted them to go. With that jump spell down, he's going to send the majority of his hogs directly at that Tesla farm just because it poses such a huge threat to the rest of his raid. He kept 4 in the bag that he's going to send from the western side directly at that archer tower. He's going to drop a heal right over that single giant bomb. His queen is still up. She's going to encounter a giant bomb herself, but he's just going to continue healing his hogs as needed and then allowing his queen to take out any buildings that she can. So he's going to drop that last heal right over that single giant bomb. There's only a couple cannons and archer towers left at this point, so nothing too dangerous for his raid. He's just going to let his hogs run around, do some cleanup for him. So we'll fast forward through this. His queen is still up. He still has a golem, and he still has the majority of his hogs. He has a couple wizards running around. So a very nice raid by Ven, being able to take out this base using a shattered go-ho with a queen walk. So nice job, Ven. Next up, we're going to be looking at Howard of Ravenclaw taking on a fellow Reddit demon, Grandpa Zed, the number 8 of Hufflepuff. He's going to be doing so with a shattered go-ho, starting off with an archer queen walk from the northwest side. He's going to use a couple minions just to funnel her so she ends up walking north rather than south. His goal here is just to clear both northwest and southwest sides of this base. As you can see, his archer queen is obviously going to take out the northwestern side of this base, and those minions are actually going to do a lot more work than you'd expect them to. There's not a lot of things that can damage them in the southwestern side, so that lone minion will be able to take out a large portion of this base. His queen does get locked onto the enemy king, and he does have to pop that ability. It's a little too much for her to handle, her being a mere level 20 and the enemy Barb King being level 30. It does say that Grandpa Zed is a Town Hall 10, but that upgrade finished just before war started, so he doesn't have any perks of being Town Hall 10, such as troops or walls or defenses or any hero levels or anything like that. So he is going to continue on the Archer Queen walk. His healers do start to take some damage from that air defense. It does kind of pose a huge threat to the whole notion of a Queen walk, but there's not a lot that's hurting her right now, so he's not in too much trouble once that cannon goes down. So once that cannon goes down, the Archer Queen is going to take out that air defense, but not before it basically kills all of his healers. Leaves a single healer healing that queen, and then he's going to begin the rest of his raid coming in from the northeastern side. He's going to drop both of his golems. He's going to funnel with some wizards so his king goes straight into the core where he wanted them to go. And then he's going to rage up his kill squad just to kind of push through all those defenses and through that lava hound. The lava hound is a sticky point for the queen, and he wants to get through it as quickly as possible, so that's why he dropped that rage. He uses the king ability to take down the enemy archer queen, and then with all of that taken care of, he is going to start sending in his hogs from that southwestern side. He notices the Tesla farm, so he does drop the heal right over that and then drops the majority of his hogs on it. Tesla farms, it can be negated if dealt with properly, but if not, can pose a serious threat to your raid, so make sure that you know how to deal with Tesla farms, either by having something tank or by dropping a heal directly over. He's going to drop the rest of his hogs on the southeastern side just to clean up all those point defenses and that last remaining wizard tower. The double giant bomb does get tripped by a single hog, so that was pretty lucky for Howard. If not, you never know. All of his hogs could have tripped that, could have been the end of the raid. But he still has his queen up, and she's going to take care of that last remaining wizard tower. So with all the defenses being gone, no double giant bombs, no giant bombs at all left. He's going to allow his hogs just to run around and clean up the last remaining percentage points and buildings of this raid. So really nice job to Howard taking out a fellow demon in Grandpa Zed. Alright, next up we have Adam of Hufflepuff taking on the 18 of Ravenclaw, Nog Skywalker. We're seeing yet another dragon attack, which is, it's pretty neat, to be honest. I love seeing these dragon attacks. They're always very interesting. It really breaks the monotony of surgical hogs and max attacks, which is basically all you're seeing these days. So he's going to start off with an Archer Queen walk. He's going to use a couple minions just to funnel her so she ends up going south rather than north. He does want her to take out both of these air defenses directly in front of her, but he notices that all 4 of the air defenses are kind of clumped in the southern region of the base. Now, the way to exploit the fault in this base is using the exact same technique that Adam is using, and it is through the use of dragons. Dragons are extremely powerful against these types of bases, and Adam will show you exactly why. So he's going to finish his Queen Walk's path by dropping a couple wizards in the south region, just to make sure that she will not go further than anticipated. He's going to drop a golem to tank, and then he's going to drop some wall breakers to break through that compartment. With a funnel being set, he is going to drop his king. Luckily and thankfully, his queen went back and took care of that last air defense before she is going to deal with the P.E.K.K.A. A max P.E.K.K.A. in the CC can pose a huge risk to archer queens. I think level 30s can survive one hit from a max P.E.K.K.A., but they will become really low. And anything under level 20 will get one shot by a max P.E.K.K.A. So he did drop a rage and use the queen's ability for that. Now, the Archer Queen is stuck bashing on a wall, which is a little unfortunate, but in the end, it's not too bad because she is going to take care of this this Tesla farm. He's going to drop the rage for her. He has the entirety of his kill squad, including a couple of wizards in the south compartment. The wizards do reach over that wall and take care of that air defense, and then he's going to start sending in his dragons from the north-hand side. So he is going to funnel them just like a proper funnel should be set. His king does eventually break through that wall and will be able to take care of that last air defense. And now, with all the air defenses gone, all he has to do is drop a single rage over his dragons when they are engaged with the queen. She will go down, and then there's just, I mean, look at the base. There's absolutely nothing left that will pose a threat to this raid. Defense-wise, that can hit his dragons, there's only an archer tower and a wizard tower. There are a ton of bombs that are hitting his dragons right now. I mean, I've seen at least 3 red bombs go in. He does drop a haste right over that clan castle just to kind of speed things up. He has an extra dragon on the east-hand side. 3 black bombs go off in the core of that base and start dealing damage to the dragons. But even with that, it's still not enough to stop this raid from being a 3-star. So with 3 dragons still up, he still has his queen being healed by those healers. She's going to come around and help those dragons clean up the rest of the base. He has that golem still tanking for that archer tower, and he still has a heal spell in the bag. So he swags that heal and a nice 3-star to Adam, breaking out the dragons. Alright, and last but certainly not least, we have Casey of Ravenclaw taking on the 21 of Hufflepuff HP Sauce. Casey is going to be doing so with a Shattered Go-Ho. He is going to start his queen in the southern side of the base. He drops the queen, but has no need to drop the healers yet, just because she's not taking any damage, and he doesn't need to really risk the healers maybe being targeted by the wizard tower. So he's going to let his queen just start to walk north, and then once she starts taking damage from that cannon, that's when he's going to drop the healers. So a really nice job, just kind of being cautious and prepared. At this point, she is going to be taking a lot of damage. She's tanking for an X-Bow, 2 archer towers, and a cannon. So he is going to drop that rage right as she comes into contact with 2 more Tesla towers. With that rage on her, she is going to be able to take out that Tesla farm and a couple more defenses, and will continue her way on north. She comes into contact with that last Tesla tower, but that's not an issue. Neither is that archer tower, so she is going to continue on. Now that the Queen Walk is basically finished, he is going to start his golems in from the northeast side with a couple wizards to funnel them in. His goal here is to eventually have his queen meet up with his kill squad in that northeast side of the base. His golems are tanking for his wizards, so they are able to just take out every trash building on that side. He does drop the king when the funnel is set, and then drops a couple of wall breakers in to break through. There was a lot of splash damage hitting that area, so he was pretty lucky that those wall breakers survived and were able to break that wall. With his kill squad starting to go in, he does drop that jump just to really open up the whole base to his kill squad. Now the timing is perfect on this because right as the king and the golem start to take damage from that CC dragon, his queen meets up and is able to take it out in perfect time and in perfect fashion. So a nice job timing that by him, really allowing his kill squad to stay alive. He does drop most of his hogs on the southwestern side of the base. With that being said, he drops the rest of them coming in from the left-hand side. Now, we've seen 2 giant bombs go off already, but we don't know where those last 2 are. And as we can see, they go off right there. A double giant bomb makes bacon on Casey's raid. At least 9 hogs go down to that. But in a nice manner, he's able to save the raid by healing over those 3 hogs that remain over those 2-point defenses. I'm not sure if he was planning on sacrificing those hogs to that double giant bomb or not, but either way, the deployment of his hogs really saved him this raid. He allowed a certain amount to go right and take care of all those defenses and trigger the double giant bomb, and the rest of them to go left and clean up the rest of the defenses and allow this raid to be a 3-star. We'll fast forward through the cleanup, but nice 3-star Casey taking out HP Sauce of Hufflepuff. Alright, so there you have it, guys. It was a really cool scrim set up by the Reddit War Clan system. I'm glad that a lot of demons could partake in it and give us these cool attacks to review. A big thank you to all of those who set it up, and a big thank you to all of those who partook. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your feedback in the comments, and I hope to see you next video.